Hey everyone, this is Jens coming to you from Sweden. Today I have a guest with me. She was an entrepreneur from a very young age, um, and have now it started with rabbits, I believe, and now she's moved on to a bit different entrepreneurships. And she comes from a big family and have moved around quite a bit. So, hi Michaela, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. So, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm sitting in my office here in Arizona, in Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona, United States. And I have just been out and watering my plants. I see some strawberries coming in and some tomatoes. I'm super excited.
Cool. So, when did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
For me, my entrepreneurial journey started when I was very young. I actually started I was 6 years old when I started it. My brain have just always looked for ways of earning an income. So everything I do today, I contribute to my whole time growing up because I was 6 years old when I figured out I wanted to start earning money. So I went out and bought myself a rabbit. And I remember I paid 50 Swedish crowns for it. And I was super excited because now I could start my breeding program. So I was going to start breeding rabbits to earn money.
That's quite young. Um, and you moved up to bigger animals eventually.
Yeah, so I started out with rabbits. I was doing that very well. And then I kept on increasing to I saw how much I made on a rabbit and I saw I could make more on birds. I started with the small parakeets or whatever they're called, undulater.
Yeah.
They're small birds anyway. And then I kept on moving forward and guinea pigs. And I found out that there are some fishes that pay you pretty well too. So I started to breed different breeds of fishes where I would also earn a lot per fish. And I kept on increasing the value of the animal and that I made a higher profit of it. And then I kept on going up. And eventually I did breed my dog or my family's dog, but I did all the work and was able to save the money for myself. And then I decided to move into horses. So when I was 12 years old, I had earned enough of money. So I bought my first horse. She was not trained. She was not, she was not trained at all. And I broke her in and I had two foals after her. And I saw how good I was at breaking in horses. I started training other people's horses as well. And I started out getting more horses and breeding and selling and get into that kind of things.
At one point you had 20 horses, right?
Yeah, 22 horses was the most I had at once.
And then you gave it all away and moved away to your happily ever after, found your prince.
Yes, I found my prince and we decided that he was willing to give up everything he had been working for because he saw that I was already running a business that was profitable, that was working out. There was a big need and so on. But for me, everything is about how much time you put in and how much you're getting out of that time. And working with horses, yes, you can earn some money, but it's a lot of time you have to invest all the time. And I had started to see how it is to work all day long, 6 days a week. I had one day off where my family was taking more care of the horses that day. But I was basically from 7 a.m. in the morning until 10 p.m. I was out working physically. And then I did paperwork until midnight or 1 or 2. And that was my everyday for many years. And I just realized that I want a little bit more time and freedom to be able to have time with the future family. You know, I wanted kids. I wanted a lifestyle that was, that really didn't fit so well into what I was doing at that time.
And we're gonna get a little bit into that later. I have a question about that. But you have 3 kids, and you move around a little bit during the time. But what happened with the last pregnancy? And like, I understand you had some difficulties after her birth.
Yes. So the whole pregnancy with my last one was very stressful. Something bad had happened to my health after every single child I've had. But after my last child, the whole pregnancy was very stressful. First, I was diagnosed with placenta previa, had lots of complications, and then also funneling. And when you're funneling, it's a very, like 90% of all the women that are funneling is giving birth before week 32. And when you are doing that, most of the times it goes so fast that the baby ends up dying. With the placenta previa as well, it was very likely that I would die as well if that happened. So the whole pregnancy had been stressful, but when she finally was out and I was cuddling with her on the couch and I was super happy about my little princess, I had 2 boys since before, and now I had my girl. I just heard a in my body. I just felt a snap kind of, and I felt a burning sensation from the skull and down my spine. And I was not able to move. I was stuck on the couch in a back lean position with my baby on top of me. And even if my phone was only this far away from my hand, I could not reach my phone because I felt like I was paralyzed. And I did not know what had just happened. I was super stressed about it, but I could not do anything. I could not call for help. I could not. So I just had to stay there on the couch for about 3 hours until my husband got back home from work and could help me. But yeah, that was the start of 2 years of not be able to get out of bed by myself, not be able to bend over and pick my kids up like normal people would. I could not load the dishwasher without being like, I had to be completely straight and just bend my knees. I had always a perfect lifting position. But as soon as I was not perfect, it was hurting so bad. And I felt like I was paralyzed again. So there was a very stressful time in my life. And I did everything I know about that can help naturally. And I did go to doctors too. I did get MRIs, and they couldn't really find a reason why my pain was so severe that it sent signal to my brain that I was paralyzed. They actually told me eventually that I think you need to go and see a psychologist because I think it's all up in your head. And that was very disturbing to get that when the pain for you is so real. And I could not even have a good night's sleep because every time my body would move, my head would just stay in that position. I couldn't get my head to move. Like, be able to do this was a luxury, you know. I couldn't do hands and move my head, and it was super painful. And that kept on going on for over 2 years.
So your freedom was really constricted or limited.
Yeah. I did not have freedom during those 2 years. I had so many appointments with all different kinds of people, chiropractors, osteopaths, massage therapists, doctors. And then also all the things that I used to do that I loved, that I enjoyed, like going out camping with girlfriends or my family, I simply couldn't do them anymore. It was too painful. So I had to say a lot of no to everything, and I could not, stuff I loved. Stuff I loved, I always had to tell people no, and I couldn't do it because of the pain. And I stopped being able to help other people because I was also in so much pain that I just needed to survive myself. And some people did not respond well to that. Some people did not understand what I was going through and was pretty rude when I tried to tell them my health is not good right now. Now it's all about me surviving. I'm not able to do any extra. And that was really hard for me too, because I'm always used to walk the extra mile for every person I meet, but I wasn't able to. So yeah, my freedom, I did not have any freedom by then. I was also stuck in a job, a regular 7 to 5 job. And this was the first time in my life I was stuck in it, because we had just bought a new house. The house was a little bit more expensive than we were counting on. And yeah, we emptied our savings to buy that house, and we needed to make sure to survive month to month. So I took a regular job because we just moved to a new place, and I did not have my freedom, not in my working wise or in my health either.
For those listening, for you watching it, you see that she's mobile now in her head. She can turn, and she's a lot better. I'd say that.
Yeah, I'm a lot better now. I have been pain-free now for over 2.5 years, and it has been the greatest gift ever. And the reason why, I mean, so I've been pain-free for 2.5 years, but the pain have come back 2 times to remind me of how stressful it was. And the last time it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I had it for a day, which it was really bad. And then I was just stuck in bed. I could not do anything. And then it kept on improving. So it was painful for like 3 days. But that reminded me of how every day was like. So I actually recorded how it was and put it on Instagram. And I'm so embarrassed. I hate like putting myself out there, but I needed to remind myself and also send hope if there's anyone out there struggling with the same neck pain like I was.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people that have the guts to show vulnerability like that. So about how you explained a really limited environment for you with the pain and not being able to do what you want, and then the liberation of getting your life back. How did you get there? Like what?
So let me tell you what did not work. I have tried every single pillow you can try. I've tried every single massage. Like I have been going to so many different massage therapists, so many different chiropractors, so many different osteopaths, and so many different treatments, and nothing was able to help me. When I finally started, like one day I had a friend of mine calling me and said, "Hey, Michaela, I know that you're just done with your nutritional studies. I know you want to work with helping people to get better health. I found a really cool concept, a balance concept, where you can actually measure the cell membrane status and correct the imbalances in your cell membrane. So it has to do with inflammation, it has to do with omega-3 and so on and so on." And I was talking with her a little bit, and I told her I'm already using omega-3. I've been using omega-3 daily for over 6 years. I have studied about omega-3. Every single book I read about nutrition, about gut health, it has omega-3 in it. So I have been using omega-3 every single day for over 6 years. And I told her I'm already using that stuff. And she's like, "Just take the blood test, just see." So I took the blood test, and it showed that I had too big imbalance on cellular level. I had too much inflammation. My cell membranes was about twice as hard than they are supposed to be. And when I started correcting that, suddenly my pain just started to ease away. And before my 4 months, before I took my second blood test, all my pain was already gone. And every day I was like talking with my husband, because like I've had periods when I was in pain where I started feeling it kept on becoming better, just to end up on a very bad pain level on my scale again. So I did not dare to say this out loud. Like I was, every now and then I was like, Sean, that's my husband. I'm like, I think pain is starting to ease away. I think it's like permanent. Like, but I don't knock on wood. Like, and then it just kept on improving. And that was a wonderful time in my life when I finally started seeing an ending to a big problem of mine. Before then, I had been going through this for so long, and I started giving up on anything ever be able to give me relief. I was really struggling and thinking, is this the first day of the rest of my miserable life? Because my life was no fun at this point in my life.
Yeah. But it took a product with a company that stays, what you call it, not reliable, stays
Accountable.
Yeah, by a
Yeah.
blood test.
Yeah. And that's what I love, because I've been using omega-3 all the time. But to be able to have a company say, our product is not only 25 or 50 or 90% better than what you're using, don't trust us. Take a blood test that is independent, make yourself your own case study, and see what is happening with your cells in your body. And that's what I loved about it. So I, of course, took the blood test. I, of course, tried the products. And I, of course, felt a difference. But also when I took the second blood test, I had a proof of why I now felt better, because I could then see I lowered the levels of inflammation. I had been also making my cell membrane softer and permeable, so the nutrients are more able to get into the cells, which is, again, able to create more energy and is promoting a good body function. And yeah, and there was a lot of different markers I could see improvements in. So it was just nice also to be able to, like, it's not only placebo. I can actually have test results that is proven the effect, the results in my health.
That's awesome. But this was not just the beginning of your health, like freedom, where you like your health benefits. It was also a starting of a new chapter of your what you call it,
Entrepreneurial side of me, of course.
Yeah.
When I see opportunities, I grab them. Like, you know how when you went to school and your class, maybe I'm not supposed to say this in front of a camera, but I did not know any better. I'm claiming the Fifth Amendment. Just kidding. But when you're going to school, you have those cookies that you can go out and sell as a class to earn money for your trip, school field trip, that you're always usually taking in the end of when you're done with school. So in Scandinavia, this is a big thing. The classes are making a bunch of money, and it's enough for the class to take like a 3 or 5 day trip to some places. Some classes are even flying to different destinations. And we have been, and you can do that in Scandinavia. And I ordered one of those things, pallets of cookies and candies for my class to sell. I never notified my class that I ordered it, and I just sold it all myself, and I just kept all the money for myself. I was in the 4th grade, okay? But when I see an opportunity, I see on the return, what can I make on the investment, and how can I, and what is the return on that? So when I saw this blood test and I saw the concept and I saw all the other parts, I started thinking like, oh, this is an e-commerce business. Both me and my husband have been thinking about starting an e-commerce business for so long, and we tried to figure out the like perfect concept. I'm a very minimalistic person. I hate consuming just for consuming. I hate selling a product that I would not have in my own house and I would not believe in. So we were looking at like eco-friendly toys that are made of wood. We were looking at some equipment for working out, some bands that you can help you improving your resistant workouts. So we were looking at different things that we could sell in an e-commerce store. Our problem was that we were always moving. We have been moving like 9 times in 13 years. So every time in the beginning, I started my own companies, and then we were moving and I had to close it down, and then I started another company, and then we moved and I had to close it down. So I was tired of building up a company that potentially needed to be closed down if we moved, because we are not only doing small moves, we move across the countries like over the pond. So we have been starting to try to figure out, how would we do this e-commerce business? Where would we have the warehouse? How can we build it up big enough so that we can have employees in the warehouse just in case we're moving again? And telephone, like the customer support and so on. How will we solve all of this? So we have already started making plans for this a long time ago, and I've been starting to contact different people that are producing things that I could potentially stand behind. And then this opportunity appeared in front of me, and I was like, oh, over here, this is fantastic. I don't need the customer support. The company is already providing that. I don't need a warehouse. The company is already providing that. They're providing shipping. They're providing everything. The only thing I have to do is to have my e-commerce, like my website, where people can go online and they can figure out what they need in their life and they can order it themselves. And I don't need all of the boring stuff. Like, yeah, customer support, to be honest. That is like, I love helping customers, but answering emails and things with payment issues and things,
Not your cup of tea.
No, if I can outsource that, I will outsource that. So for me, I just saw the potential. I saw there was a lot to gain here, and there was also just right up my alley. It was something that had completely changed my own health. Not only my neck pain, but a couple of more months down the road, about 8 months down the road, I also noticed that I could quit my allergy medication. And I've been suffering bad from allergies. It was grass and pollen, but it became a cross allergy to all fruits, including bananas. Like I could not eat a banana or apple or plums or grapes or watermelon. Like all fruits were out of the question, and most of the veggies as well, including carrots and cucumbers. Like cucumbers is mainly out of water, and I was still reacting to it, and avocados. So about 8 months down the road, I saw that I could quit my allergy medications, and I needed a blend. One did not work for me. I needed a blend of 2 to 3 different kinds every day to be able to eat healthy salads, And so it was something I could 100% stand behind, because it's something that is essential. It's something we should all get through food. But unfortunately, the way we are producing our food today, the feed we're feeding our animals and everything in combination, we're not getting enough of the essential vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids. So we need supplement a lot of them to be able to have bodies that are able to function. And so I was super happy when there was also a business aspect to it, since I already was so sold and I knew I was going to need these products for the rest of my life. So when I saw there was a business opportunity, there was no question in my mind. I jumped at it right away. And that was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, because most likely there are customers out there that are in the same need. But as I see it, it's three time like freedom. You've been freed 3 times, like both from your pains and like food, what you can eat, but also financially. Like you are your own boss today and choose your own time, and that's amazing. Like that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I just wanted to say something that I am so proud of too is, yes, I am able to be financial free now and choose my time and so on. But what is so interesting is the ability I have now to educate my kids about it. They have always seen me working hard and so on. But the other day, my son was in here sitting and listening to my meetings. He had downloaded Zoom so he can join in on meetings every now and then. And his dad is having a really cool job. And he always talking about that he wants to become like dad. He wants to do what dad is doing. And then one day he came to me and said, Mom, financially, it makes more sense to start working with you and earn a residual income versus working with dad. And I was like, I'm so proud of you. And then you can learn about investments, about like residual income in such a young age. He's only 10. I wished all kids could learn about investment and residual income at school, but they're not educated. So people are skeptic instead because it's nothing they have heard anything about, and they are putting hold and they're holding themselves back because it's not common. People wants to do what other peoples are doing. We are a group of animals that have habits and so on.
Habitual creatures.
Yes, and we just don't want to stick out. It's a survival mechanism to belong. So when something is new, they feel like they don't belong anymore, and they are saying no to it because they are too afraid of what's on the other side. So I'm just so happy that I can also influence my kids to learn about this in a young age.
Yeah, that's awesome. So to anyone listening, be brave, dare to stick out, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, either me or Michaela, and we'll answer any questions you have. So thank you, Michaela, for your time. I'm gonna let you go to your day. I'm gonna go to bed because it's late here. So have a great day.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that this can give value to you out there that are listening. Take care.